Hi everybody! Hi every spirit, welcome very much to my YouTube channel. Let's talk about South Node in Pisces. Before we do that, leave a like and subscribe and use the links down below to find more of my content and to know more and book services with me. So first, what is the South Node? Right? South Node is an astrological alignment correlated with the moon that represents where you feel comfortable, not just where as in physically, but areas of your mind, areas of your emotions, doing stuff, types of people, types of relationships, right? And it also represents things that you already know how to do, or you have more familiarity in doing that, or represent things that you can get stuck into because you're too comfortable, and also represent things that you experienced early in your life and you carry into later stages of your life, or also they represent things that you experienced in a past life and brought up to the present life, right? And what is Pisces? Pisces is mutable water. What is mutable? Being mutable and adaptive and associate. And not only associate externally, as in you share your stuff, but also associate internally, as in you receive stuff from others. And then Pisces is mutable water. So it's being adaptive and mutable and associating your feelings, emotions, dreams, illusions, imaginations, desires, attachments, spiritual purposes, reasonings, and meanings. Right? So if we take all this together and create a new archetype, which is South Node in Pisces, it means that you feel comfortable in associating or in just adapting to your own dreams and illusions, or to an external dream and illusion, feelings and emotions, right? So it means you can be very comfortable and get stuck in your own illusions, right? Or in somebody else's illusions. You might be actually doing something real good and real nice, but it depends on the rest of your alignments. But it's easier for you with South Node in Pisces to take an external indication, an external input, and imagine you're doing good. Somebody says, oh, you're actually doing bad because of that. If they come across you in a way that resonates with your emotional frequency, it's easier for you to accept that. Also, imagine you're doing wrong and somebody actually validates you. It's easier for you to accept that, right? To vibe with them and agree with them. Or even if you don't agree, it's easier for you to go with the flow and not really like fight back or apply some limits and boundaries, right? But spiritually speaking, it's always better to be lost in your own la la land, in your own imaginations, than to be lost in the world. Because we all together create the world, and if you don't have your own space, if you don't have your own imagination, you're not being yourself, you're not being a spirit or a spiritual being, you're being of the world and not a part of the world, right? So the positive, spiritually speaking, and sometimes lacking a bit of reality of South Node in Pisces, is getting lost in your own feelings and emotions, dreams, illusions, and nightmares, because you're always more connected to your own spirit, to your own creations than everybody else, right? By default, negatively, it can make you dissociated from reality, right? You might lack certain social cues, you might lack certain abilities to maintain a routine and pattern, you go too much with the flow, with your vibe, and with your feelings. But also positively, once you do find a routine and pattern, you can do it forever, quote unquote, or you can do it. Imagine you and another person work in the same place 8 hours a day, right? If you having South Node in Pisces, if that resonates with you, with your emotions and feelings, dreams and illusions, if you have a purpose behind it, you can work the same time, 8 hours, but in the end of the day, you're less tired, right? You lighter and a bit more happy in general, right? You still have creativity and spark to do something when you arrive at home that is really into your personal interests. But it's all about getting into that vibe and flow first. But that can be really hard for South Node in Pisces because you feel so comfortable in staying in that emotion and feeling that you might sacrifice the external realm, some stability, some routine, some organization to stay there. And many times, it's not even those feelings and emotions are good, you just feel so uncomfortable in taking that extra step or going out of your comfort zone because it's mutable water, so it's extreme attachment, extreme lostness and scatteredness a little bit, right? Then also, positively though, with South Node in Pisces, it also means it's easier for you to connect with others, right? In general, right? But more importantly, it's easier to you to connect with others that have same values, because Venus is exalted in Pisces, right? Also, yeah, Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, co-ruled by Neptune, and Venus is exalted in Pisces. So Pisces is about as well sharing and associating your dreams and illusions that come out of your wisdom and knowledge, that come out of spirituality, that come out of grand illusions and grand imaginations, and you might go too far with Pisces in general in your relationships, commitments and pleasures. So with South Node in Pisces, it's easier for you to stay comfortable or stuck in going too far for your desires, either in sacrificing your security and stability to obtain those desires, or you might not be sacrificing the security and stability, you might be sacrificing yourself, right? Because you're just doing too much of those desires. You just feel you can't live without them, and you can. You are not the creation, you are the creator. You don't need anything as in a physical substance or a partnership. You just you want those things deeply, or you are stuck in this idea, aka South Node in Pisces, that you need those things to feel good and to feel a part of something, but you don't, right? But you might get stuck in that feeling, you might get stuck in that vision, and that's not your case, right? So positively, going back, rewind, it's easy for you, it's easier with South Node in Pisces to connect with others that vibe on your vibe. Because, for example, people that are a bit more logical or they're a bit more grounded, they might find somebody that vibes with them, that have the same values and spiritual perspectives, but naturally they have more limits and boundaries. Naturally they're gonna double check and triple check everything, and that will perturb the connection, right? But at the same time, it's also a negative point, because even though they are super into you and you are super into them, you are your unique space, unique individual, and you might allow them, because of that mutable Pisces energy, to modify you and influence you too much. Now, it's not them doing that to you, it's actually you doing that to yourself, but through them, or using them as an image, as a role model. But it's up to you anyway. But because of in Pisces, you might lack the responsibility or the self-awareness to call that out on yourself, and now you think it was that person. I was in a toxic relationship, they were doing that to me. No. You were allowing that into you, and then you grew and took that shape and form. Be like water. You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put the water into the teapot, it becomes the teapot. South in Pisces, there is no better allegory than that. But keep in mind, you are the one taking those shapes and forms. Even if you are using the shape and form of somebody else, it's still you doing that, right? Then also, positively speaking, with South Node in Pisces, it's easier for you to accept and understand there is things beyond this reality, there is things creating this reality. Also, negatively speaking, if you lack the other alignments or just the logical skill, you might not be able to process it, you might not be able to explain it to others, you might look like crazy, and then you might feel too comfortable in staying in your own imagination, and you might feel too uncomfortable in making it real, making it make sense, because if you have South Node in Pisces, by default your North Node is Virgo, so you feel uncomfortable in making sense, being more serious, and applying more limits and boundaries to what we already are doing, sharing and adapting your feelings and emotions, but now in a more purposeful, realistic, sturdy, dry, and straightforward way, which is Virgo. So you might have actually a great perspective about the world and spirituality and past lives and whatever, but you might feel uncomfortable, you might even reject being more realistic about it, being more organized about your ideas, actually force yourself to make sense and get out of certain imaginations and illusions that they lead you to something, but they are not the thing. They are not the reason. They are not the conclusion, right? But you stay on them just because South Node in Pisces makes you feel more comfortable and attached to those things, or your North Node in Virgo makes you uncomfortable. Because like I said, the thing with relationships, the same thing with ideas, And those imaginations, those vibes might not be good, they might not be the thing holding you back, but your North Node might make you so uncomfortable that you prefer to stay there even though it's not good. That's why also with South Node in Pisces, it will be easier for you to be in a toxic relationship for longer periods of time, right? Because it's not just you know that's toxic and that's bad, but being alone or being by yourself or just the process of detaching might be too uncomfortable and painful to you, or you might go even and be even more naive. You might not want to hurt the other person. Bro, take care of yourself first, you know what I'm saying? So in general, South Node in Pisces, you are comfortable and already know how to share, associate, be immutable and adaptive with your feelings and emotions, dreams and illusions, spiritual belief systems, connections, deep relationships, and attachments, alright? So you can get too much comfortable in sharing your feelings, and you shouldn't. You might get too comfortable in a connection or a place or a ship where you're sharing stuff and you enjoy that sharing of water and feelings, and you might feel uncomfortable in making things real, making things work, make things make sense and be profitable either physically or emotionally, and that really goes into the relationship part, right? Because you might be into a relationship where you're exchanging a lot of energy, but you're not receiving that energy back, thus is not profitable. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video here, and if you want to know more about your South Node or more of your alignments, book a natal chart reading with me, a tarot reading, or a personal consultation. Until the next time, as a cloud surfer surfing out, always remember the best way to be is to be your goddamn self, believe in all possibilities, and I see you soon. Bye!